His Excellency, Mr. President, Somaliland Development Fund is managed by Joint Steering Committee, and Joint Steering Committee is chaired by the Minister of Planning and National Development and co-chaired by a representative from SDF partners, in this case Morgan Ralley. So I would like to give the word of international development partners to Mr. Morgan. Mr. Morgan, take the floor.
Assalamu alaikum. Your Excellency, President Musa Bihi, Excellencies, Ministers, colleagues of the Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Morgan Riley. I am the Deputy Head of Office and the Head of Development for the British Office in Hargeisa. I'm also the co-chair for the SDF. I'd like to start this morning by thanking our partners in the Government of Somaliland. Minister Hassan, Minister Saad have been invaluable on our journey, as have all the ministers and all our partners in the implementing ministries, the departments and the agencies. I'd like to thank our partners from Denmark and the Netherlands. The SDF is just one vehicle of many that they support as part of their long-term commitment to Somaliland's development. The people of the UK, Denmark and Netherlands, through their taxes, make the SDF possible, which gives us a huge responsibility to make sure that every dollar of their hard-earned money is spent effectively. I'd like to thank Mark MacDonald, who have been our stalwart partner since the very start. Without all of your hard work, expertise and commitment, we wouldn't have enjoyed the successes we have. The same applies to the hundreds of smaller companies who work with the implementing agencies to deliver these technically challenging projects for the people of Somaliland. And finally, I'd like to thank the people of Somaliland. We need your engagement to shape the projects, to ensure they are successful. We need your patience with these projects, because sometimes they can take time. And we need your commitment to help us deliver a better future here. So we're here to celebrate 4 projects today. The rebuilding of the Barao Sheikh Berber Road in Tokdir and Sahel, the sustainable land management in Ardel and Morojichet, support to the Hargeisa Water Agency, which is supplying water to the people of Hargeisa, and the construction of the Maid fishing jetty and associated infrastructure in Sanag. In selecting these 4 projects, we were guided by the Government of Somaliland's second National Development Plan. I had the pleasure of attending the National Development Summit in this room last week, as the government is reflecting on what has been achieved so far and planning what comes next. I would urge all partners to engage with the government to ensure that the third National Development Plan is prioritised, costed and achievable, because this will be critical for guiding Somaliland's development. And I'd like to encourage the government to do everything it can to make it as easy as possible for partners to assist. So in the SDF, we're also guided by some basic values linked to equality. Equality of opportunity for the most vulnerable in society. Making sure these investments support minorities, people with disabilities, girls and women, and people across the regions of Somaliland, all of whom we look forward to seeing being represented in the parliamentary and local elections next year. Of course, we need to be pragmatic and consider which projects offer the greatest value for money, which are achievable, and the budgets available to us, and which are sustainable, which will enhance the environment, not damage it, and which will help build resilience for climate change here. And we need to consider what will have the greatest positive impact for the greatest number of people in both Somaliland and the region. The Barao Sheikh Berber Road will improve connectivity between Somaliland's primary port and its second largest city, reducing travel time and costs that will benefit the 50,000 people who use the road regularly. But we're also interested in the contribution to economic development by enhancing service delivery and trade along that vital route in Somaliland. Improving the agricultural production of small farmers in Ardel and Morojichet through soil and water conservation, research, training and improved supplies will support those farmers and their families, which is great in itself. But it also means that land remains fertile for future generations. And by increasing local production, we should see an increasing choice and freshness in local markets, reduced prices, and reduced dependency on imports. The SDF enjoys a long-term partnership with Hargeisa Water Agency, which supplies clean water to people of this great city. This project will allow Hargeisa Water Agency to extract an additional 4,000 cubic metres of water each day, increasing the available water to Hargeisa by more than 20%, enough to meet the needs of an additional 200,000 people. And by working closely with our partners in the EU, the UN, Germany, Coca-Cola Foundation and others, we will be able to meet the basic water needs of Hargeisa, critical for the economic growth of the city and for Somaliland. And then finally, the Med Jetty and the associated infrastructure will improve interconnectivity by sea between Berbera and the 750,000 people living in Sanag, Sul and parts of Togdir, spurring regional economic growth as well as facilitating the transport of fish to markets. This will support and boost food security, employment and incomes. So these projects between them will directly improve the lives of hundreds of thousands of people across Somaliland. But we're more ambitious than that. By supporting greater economic activity through these investments, we will see greater revenue collection for the government of Somaliland. And by supporting the government to deliver these projects through its own ministries, departments and agencies, we'll help the government to build its capacity. These combined will allow the government greater opportunities to invest in education, healthcare and other critical services, helping us to continue the journey towards Vision 2030 goals of economic prosperity and social well-being for the people of Somaliland, strengthening the social contract between the citizens of Somaliland and those who are elected to work for the benefit of those citizens. Thank you.